Today's story is something that's shaking the entire dinar community, and honestly, even people who don't usually follow Iraqi currency news are paying attention. Imagine waking up, going about your normal day, and suddenly hearing that a major U.S. bank, yes, one as big as Chase, is showing an unexpected new rate for the Iraqi dinar. Now, add to that the shock of people claiming they've seen this same rate on live television tickers. This isn't just another rumor floating around the internet. The talk is everywhere in chat groups, on social media, and even in private phone calls between investors. People are saying that for the first time in years, something is changing in plain sight, and it might be the closest we've ever been to a revaluation. This is true. It could be one of the most important moments in the history of the dinar. Reports are pouring in from multiple directions. Some claim they were at their local Chase Bank branch when they noticed updated currency exchange rates on the screen, rates that made them stop and look twice. Others say they were at home flipping channels when they spotted a currency ticker on a finance program, showing a number for the Iraqi dinar that was far higher than usual. This combination of reports is unusual. Normally, when we hear about rate changes, they're just whispers or screenshots posted online. But this time, people are talking about in-person sightings, public displays, and major institutions being involved. That's what makes the situation so different. The buzz isn't coming from one place, it's coming from all over. And when big banks and live TV broadcasts are in the mix, you can't help but wonder if the wheels of change are finally turning in public view. Now, let's be absolutely clear. No one is officially announcing that the revaluation has already happened, but the timing and the nature of these sightings are raising eyebrows. In the past, it's been widely believed in the dinar community that when the RV comes, first signs won't be a government press conference. There'll be subtle changes inside the banking system. Banks might quietly update their internal rates before they make anything public. That's why when a name like Chase Bank starts showing up in conversations, it hits differently. It's not just any bank, it's a global financial powerhouse with deep connections to currency markets worldwide. If their systems are showing something unusual, it's very likely they're acting on official data coming from higher up the chain, and that could mean the long wait might finally be coming to an end. Some people who visited Chase branches this week say they asked the tellers about the dinar. Usually, the answer is something like, "We don't deal with that currency," or "We have no information." But this time, the responses were different. Some were told that rates are being updated, or that new numbers are appearing in their system. Now, if you've been in this space for any length of time, you know those little hints can be significant. Banks don't just refresh rates for no reason. It usually means they've received new official guidance, even if it's not yet visible to the public. And when this happens at multiple branches in different locations, it's hard to write it off as just a local glitch. What makes this story even more interesting is the TV angle. Some viewers claim they saw an updated dinar rate scroll across the bottom of financial news channels. This is highly unusual because the dinar's exchange rate has been stable for a long time, and any sudden movement is typically front-page news in Iraq itself. Was this an intentional broadcast? Was it a slip-up by the network? Or was it simply a case of the wrong data feed being shown too early? No one knows for sure. But history tells us that sometimes new rates appear in the system before an official announcement is made. It could be a test run, a technical update, or an early leak that wasn't meant to be public yet in the currency world. These kinds of leaks or early sightings have happened before. Sometimes, data providers like Reuters or Bloomberg push an update out to their subscribers before the official press release goes live. Sometimes, bank systems are updated overnight to prepare for a public change the next day. And sometimes, the new numbers appear for only a few minutes before being pulled back. That's why so many people in the dinar community are paying close attention right now. This feels different, feels coordinated. Then when multiple signs from banks and TV show up around the same time, it's worth paying attention. One theory being discussed is that this could be a testing phase by the banks. In other words, they might be quietly putting the new rate into their systems to make sure everything works smoothly before it goes public. It makes sense when you think about it. Imagine the chaos if the rates suddenly changed worldwide without the banks being fully prepared. By updating internally first, they can train staff, test systems, and ensure all processes are ready before customers start rushing in to exchange their currency. If that's what's happening now, the knee sightings could be the first public hints of a behind-the-scenes rollout already in progress. It's also worth noting that this is not the first time rates have shown up early, but the difference this time is the combination of factors: Chase Bank involvement, live TV sightings, and a generally optimistic tone in the dinar community. Usually when rumors like this pop up, there is a wave of skepticism, but right now, the energy feels different. Even people who have been doubtful for years are admitting that this is unusual. It's almost as if we can all sense that something big is close. And with Iraq's recent economic reforms, improved political stability, and new international trade deals, the timing couldn't be better for a major shift. Let's talk for a moment about the possible rate itself. Many dinar holders dream of a one-to-one exchange with the US dollar. It's a nice round number and easy to understand. But economists point out that jumping straight to one-to-one could cause shockwaves. It would give the dinar massive purchasing power overnight, but it could also disrupt local businesses, impact import and export balances, and create instability across neighboring currencies. That's why some believe a more gradual approach, starting with the real effective exchange rate and adjusting over time, might be the smarter move. Whatever the exact number is, what matters most right now is that credible signs are emerging from credible places. This isn't just a random post on a forum or a blurry screenshot from a private group. These are in-person accounts, bank branch experiences, and nationally broadcast television tickers. And when you put all of that together with the current economic climate, it's not hard to see why people are getting excited. It's the perfect storm of timing, data, and anticipation. Of course, we can't ignore the possibility that this could be a glitch, a test, or even misinformation. But here's why that's less convincing this time. We've never had so many signs pointing in the same direction all at once. And not just random signs, but activity involving major institutions that are directly tied to the flow of money worldwide. Banks like Chase don't just make up numbers for fun, and TV networks don't casually display currency rates that don't exist. Something is happening, even if we don't yet know the full story. If this really is part of a rollout, the next step could be seeing other banks start to show the same thing. And once multiple institutions confirm the change, it will be almost impossible to dismiss it as a mistake. That's why so many people are now checking their bank apps, visiting branches, and watching TV tickers more closely than ever. Every small change feels important. Every new report could be the clue that confirms what many have been waiting years to see. The mood in the dinar community today is electric. Patience and excitement are colliding. On one hand, no one wants to get carried away before there's an official announcement. On the other, the signs are too strong to ignore. And if you've been on this journey for a long time, you know that this kind of activity, banks updating, TV tickers changing, is exactly what many predicted would happen in the days just before the RV becomes public. So as we watch these developments unfold, the best advice is simple: stay alert. Keep an eye on the news tickers, your bank's currency exchange board, and trusted community updates. Because if the talk about Chase Bank and those TV rates is true, we might be closer to the finish line than ever before. Whether this is the real thing or just a prelude to it, today feels different. And it might just be the day we look back on as the moment we knew something big was about to happen.